Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk 303.
303.
This is for the Brits because that was their old cartridge.
Oh
uh,
yeah.
in the yeah. Anyway, I have to shill stuff and things. I think.
Yeah, do it.
Go buy some stuff at Skinny Play. Use the promo code to get 10% off. Use the link to they like that sort of thing. Um, Oh, hello, Skinny Play. I see them over on the Twitch side. We're on the Twitch side if you hate YouTube for whatever reason. Come join our Discord. Uh, we're now consistently over 1,000. So yay!
Yay. It's good. It's a good pool of information, man. You know,
Yeah, it's I think the most interactive complaint place.
with like somewhat even solutions in some way, right? I guess.
Yeah. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet already, and that's about it. I think. Also, if you hear Willie cussing, he has old man syndrome, as in he can't touch his toes anymore.
Bro, I am in pain. I don't know. My back is just killing me. That's all there's to it.
Well, that's what 90s will do to you.
I blame the 90s, man, even though they've been sitting. I think this was 3 weeks ago. It's still fresh in my back.
Yeah,
First one wasn't bad. The second one killed us both, man.
the,
Me
the,
and
the sort of
Max.
OSHA, whatever workplace rules about weight are not in totally nonsense, right?
Well, yeah, but I don't think that OSHA spells the same in French in Quebec, so they just do their own, however they do
Yeah.
it.
Well, I also, I'm unsure that 90s would ever comply with like the maximum a person is allowed to lift because you just
But
can't
you know what?
hold it like that.
It was freaking four of us though, man. But just getting them out of the van and then putting them into a.
Yeah, but you don't have four straps.
Oh, we had no straps. We just
Yeah,
grabbed it by the freaking box and the pallet, right? So yeah, you're shooting hemorrhoids out of your ass when you're putting it down on the ground from like almost not even chest high. I would say like mid thigh high.
I mean, I think in the Netherlands anyway, like the rules are like some like an employee is maximally allowed to lift something like either 25 or 35 kilos. So there's like no way you could do that move the 90s at all, right?
You'd be probably limited at 50s for two people.
Yeah. So even with
So,
four, like you're not getting to 90s. Also, you technically need straps, and like there's no way, like you can't walk in like a diamond shape around 90s through any sort of door.
no, but you know what? The pallet is 32.1 inches wide or square. So the normal entrance door is 36 or no, sorry, 32. It's 36 opening, but it depends if the door opens in because the door has to open somewhere, right? So you lose
Yeah,
that
and security
those almost
strips and that sort of thing.
yeah, you lose about 4 inches anyway. So yeah, to get the like in my old apartment, they fit by quarter-inch difference on each side.
Yeah, that's tight.
Just that it was scary because when I got them to the door, I'm like, oh fudge, am I even gonna be able to put them in here?
Yeah, because then you you own these things and they're just
Oh
sitting
fuck!
outside.
And if the pallet is out of question, then or if the pallet doesn't fit, then the skates are completely out of question.
Yeah,
But we did manage to move them from when I was moving from seventh to sixth floor. We did manage them move them on a freaking what's it called? Uh, Move them through the door and on the skates. It was hurting, but we did it. But yeah,
yeah. Again, I love 90s, but this is part of the reason why like I never got interested in them that much for all these practical reasons.
well, that's the only reason that they suck is the moving them if needed be. Right? It's
Yeah,
just not happening. Or the worst part is that like if you let's say you're have somewhere where the place where floods or whatever, they just get lost. Or at least the electronics on the bottom get completely fucked. But they're still rebuildable. But you're not moving them no matter what. Like, you can take the 8000s, who cares about the grills? You can buy those, but the speakers are expensive. You can run on shoulders with the pipes out.
I mean, yeah, essentially everything is doable except for 90s. Like, I
Yeah,
wonder how much heavier those, was it Samurai editions are?
because of the gold.
Yeah. I mean, a little gold is heavy. I don't know if you've ever lifted like a bar of gold, but like a kilo
Well,
of gold is like is like
yeah,
that.
it's not big. Yes, yeah, it's not a lot of metal, but I don't know. I don't think it's. I think it's just plated though. They're not solid.
No, I understand, but there is a fair bit of it on there.
Well, yeah, even if they're like triple plated, that's like I guess those fake watches are basically,
Yeah,
right? That they claim. Yeah, like it won't rub off or ever,
it
essentially.
shouldn't.
Not in the 90s because you're not going to be touching those at all. But yeah, I like the pictures uh, on the Discord. They were amazing. Definitely interesting, and I don't understand why BNO doesn't go with more spiffy grills for the level, man. You guys have the capability to do it. Why not do it? They look sick.
It almost seems like the level is forgotten again.
I don't think it sells as much as they anticipated,
But it's
even
also
though
because you don't market it at all. Like
no,
every
I
new
think the
grill is a marketing opportunity, right?
exactly. But I also think that I think the best marketing so far for me to even wanted to revive it back was Steve's video with Thorsten when they were talking about the level and its requirements to what it's supposed to look like and blah 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 and the whole design concept of it. I really started to appreciate it again, and like it is a great little piece of machine to play music from. But yeah, I think that they should spiff up the grill game because the two there is plus the lilac one, which I don't think from what I was looking at you can't even order a spare part on the ROS. I think you have to
No, that was
contact.
a limited edition run.
Oh, well, thank God. Yeah, I wasn't. I don't think that was a good idea.
Also, this grill that they have there would pull it straight in line with the A5.
Yes, I think that looks sick.
Yeah, I love this. This is great.
Mm.
It would actually make me think of getting one for like like a laundry room or a shower room, something like that.
In laundry, it makes sense if you hang it on the wall.
Yeah, I would definitely hang it on the wall. Also,
So
like our shower bathroom area isn't that big, so something like a level that is that flat would make utter sense to me.
hmm
I mean, I guess I could put one of my M3s up on one of those wall brackets, but I would rather put something like this up.
Well, yeah, and honestly, like I think that it makes sense to just run the Mozart platform more than the old one for the sake of, I guess, the features and what you can do, and also, I guess, from tech spec perspective, it's easier for me to address issues for people, right? Because the PHC or the Product Health Center tool works better on the Mozart platform than the ASC. There's limited what you can do on the ASC platforms,
Yeah. Thanks,
but.
Bio John, for taking these pictures, by the way.
Mm, yeah, even that anthracite one looks sick, man. Like they should.
I think I would because we're still having to redo our bathroom, and I'm
Mm,
thinking of going with like white marble tile at the back wall you walk in, and an anthracite tile on the floor and right back wall.
okay.
So that anthracite one would look amazing.
Yeah, it's probably like gonna be like 3.5 grand custom BNO, whatever, right?
Sure, but it's a
And
one-time purchase.
exactly. I don't like the BLF 28s. The colors there, it's just too much, too funky. The teal ones remind me of the era when the BLF ones, or even the 6000 had that teal blue color.
Yeah, the 28s in the London store were the sort of New York edition, different colors like fading, right?
hmm
And they were sort of purple to pink, and it actually looked quite okay. I didn't expect to think that really. I don't think I have a picture on. uploaded yet. But anyway, again, this should be marketed more. Like, the world's your oyster. What do you want?
Yeah. Are they available, Matt? Matt's asking.
I don't
Probably
think so.
on Bespoke or like the B&O custom ones, right? Or BeoSpoke, I guess, whatever it's called. Because this is not just like to match your bronze, whatever, from with the bronze that you pay a little bit extra for. This is they would make it. I'm sure if they're showing it, they're gonna be able to be making it. It's just a question of how much are you able to toss at it or willing to toss at it
Well,
for what they will ask.
It's not just that. I would like to make clear, because look, they've been able to make certain things for a while now, and like a walnut cover for the level. And the people that have asked, they just told them no. So they can make it. I've showed them pictures last week of 2 other colors. One was, I think, walnut, and the other one was like bamboo or something. But again, they don't really let you know whether they want to make it, because they can
Obviously
make just about
yeah.
everything, right? But sometimes they just don't want to. And that may be a combination of, like, we think the price is too high, or like, if we do this one-off, you may not want to pay for it, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's reasons. Some are more valid than others.
But to me, okay, like, let's talk about, like, if we're talking about the bloody level, to make that wood grill, essentially it's just veneered, right?
Yes.
It's painted black and then veneered. Maybe I don't know how, because I'm sure it's intricate how it's done, because the black color goes all the way up to the edge, and then the wood, there is no wood, like you can't see that it's been ran a saw through it type of thing, right? It's black all the way up, so the paint's been all the way up. I don't know how they do it, but if they do it, like, even if you introduce it as a bloody part number on the ROS, just be orderable. Let's say the walnut ones. I'm sure if people would find out that the walnut is available, I think you would have more than one order, which would be me, but I'm sure you would have more people that would order the walnut.
Yeah.
Because it just looks nicer than the freaking the Quadrat, the gray melange nonsense.
Yeah, I agree.
Wood chassis remote control. They could make a walnut remote.
Yeah. But again, it's out in the museum, but you never see it online mentioned anywhere.
Yeah. Maybe I think it's just their experiments with the CNC machines, right? Because obviously this needs to be milled, because you can't just bend that like they do the aluminum, the little kink in there, which you love so much. And then I guess the rest of the process would be the same, right? Because that bend is what allows the drill to go through and basically make the battery cavity inside the handle.
But surely you can have a longer drill, right? And like have it just flat and have
No, it's the angle. It's the angle. It literally is the angle. There is no way.
Yeah, but if you have a 10-inch drill, surely you can come from the front, because the bottom would be pointing down.
See, like the drill part. See, this is already where the milling starts to go down.
I understand.
See, so like that's the whole. So that has to be out of the way, bro.
Yeah, then make it slightly thicker. It's fine.
I'm sorry to tell you. It's got to be out of the way. I don't know what to use. I don't know because I've really never come across the remote control that I literally had to drill in to the battery pack, screw in a screw, and then pliers pull out the batteries because they were just absolutely seized inside it.
Did they explode or something?
No, they just leaked out. And there's a lot of that junk shit acid on the bottom, right? That calcium crust. And I don't know, like, are you familiar with the CLR?
CLR?
Calcium, lime, and rust.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would... and the remote is unusable anyways because I can't clean it.
Yeah.
So if I F it up, I F it up. But I really want to try it because the chassis is in a very good condition. So I'm gonna try to revive it. If
Surely you have.
anybody in the chat has any idea what to use not to damage the aluminium, well, more or less the inside, because I'm not gonna spill it all over the front, all over the top of it. I just
Like
need to fill up
white
those
vinegar would
battery holes.
dissolve the
I
calcium.
tried it. It's not enough. It's not enough.
No, but you like need to put quite a bit in, like have it sit upright in like a bath of white vinegar and let it soak.
I had it sit in a glass of white vinegar. It bubbled, fizzled, and chiseled, but it didn't do.
Maybe you
much.
need to do it a few times.
I guess I've had it soaked for 4 days before I was able to get the batteries out.
Yeah, but at some point there's not enough chemicals left to react, right?
Mm.
As in, like, replace the vinegar. Like, it's not so much the time necessarily in the vinegar, but it's like you can have
the acidity of it. Yeah,
4 different portions of vinegar.
So, well, I was always changing the vinegar inside just because it was still bubbling. Then I rinsed it off, put it in.
The captain says use hot water. It should be soluble.
I'll try that. I'll put it in, like, I'll boil some water and dump it in, like one of those.
The 28s in the London store I was talking about are like this BeoSound 2 in the middle here. That sort of color scheme, but more or less.
Oh, yeah. I've seen a picture of them somewhere. I like the ideas of the Explorers that they had done with different colors. The headphones, meh. But I like the idea with the Explorers.
The front Explorer looks very Chinese.
Oh, yeah, that's screaming the Year of a Dragon or some nonsense. That's for sure. It looks cool. You wouldn't want to dent that. Like, that's not a camping speaker anymore.
No.
That's not. You don't go camping with that. And the third one at the back, it looks like they just took the green chassis from the Ferrari and put it over the gray one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's raining.
No, they do very nice stuff. It's just like, could we, like, please tell people about this? Because are we just supposed to guess at what's available, or like what's going on?
Yeah.
I mean, like, these samurai editions, they're not for me. I personally think they look worse, but if you like this sort of thing,
go for it.
Yeah,
that's what I say.
I mean, it may.
Personally, I'm not a fan of those, but
it may look fantastic in your like suite in the Burj Khalifa or something like that.
They are cool. I gotta give them that. They are cool. But man, not my style whatsoever. I like the wood, definitely love the wood on it, but not my style. I would like to get once I get the boxes or the 90s uncrated, I'm gonna get I'm gonna order the walnut panels for mine and go from there.
That seems like a good idea if you have everything in walnut already.
Because they weren't available before they were available just before I moved out of the apartment, before I packed them. Because there was only oak, smoked oak, and that was it. Or light oak, I think, one or the other. Which is funny. We did the test with the girls in the shop the other day. We took the grill from the BioLab 8 with the light oak and an oak. I can't tell the difference. I honestly cannot tell the difference. Both chicks fucking dead on. It's this one. Turn over, light oak. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, women have a better color perception than guys, because you don't want a guy describing colors.
Well, they're really close to light oak. Well, it depends on what product, really, because it is much more visible in like the 18s light oak versus normal oak.
Yes, but on the 8s and the theater,
and on the 28s,
good luck, man. Honestly, good luck. If it doesn't say on the sticker, I wouldn't know. Smoked oak, cool. Walnut, well, non-existent, but only on the first 28 of them.
I saw some good before August price rise deals, by the way, and I think it was one
Oh,
of
the
our.
email, the B&O's
Well,
email.
no, it wasn't that. It was, I think Sandeep sent me that, where like if you buy 90s, you get a theater and eights with it or something like that.
Oh, really?
And theater including panel, right? Like not just the theater. And then what is it? If you buy 50s, you get 28s with them,
Hmm.
which is like essentially a surround setup for the price of 50s, which is,
Not bad.
yeah.
So, but
But
they're
I don't
banking
know
on the
if
fact
this
that you
is
might
dealer
order.
specific or if.
I haven't seen that email. I just saw the email that I got is I think it was balance and something else on sale. It was 3 items that were on sale.
Yeah. Yeah, Sandeep says buy 90s, get 55-inch theater and 28s. That's.
Which to me, I think like at that point, I would just go with the 77-inch theater or custom 80, 85 or
Sure, but
83.
that's a negotiation, right? You pay a little
Yeah,
more, but if you
because the
pay.
55 theater looks like it dwarfed by the 90s on the sides. If you're doing it in the same room.
But if you buy 90s at their current price, which is pretty insane,
Mhm.
if you pay like, I don't know, 3 to 5 grand more, you get yourself a 77 theater
Yeah.
and 28. Like that's killer setup.
Oh, for sure. It is a good deal, but I haven't seen that email or anything. Maybe,
Well, it may be dealer specific, like I said, right? And where maybe they're sitting on some stock that's just been sitting there and going up and up and up. And it's sort of like, well, we'll do it at close to cost or something. Just get it out of here.
mhm. Yeah, I don't see anything on the BO News regarding the sale of that. Interesting. Could be just localized to Europe, maybe,
Well, it could be localized to that specific dealer.
or they're doing the promo. Yeah,
Yeah.
that they want
Because
to move the
if you're
90s.
if you're a franchiser, you have your own margin control, obviously. Whereas you're like if you're the B&O store, asking price is not asking price; it's the price.
Hmm.
Like there's no real,
Wiggling room or wiggle room, I guess.
which is kind of insane, right? Because you would think the company store could potentially give you the best price because like it's within the company. Like I
Yeah, it's no bread lost on those guys' table at the end of the day. I'm
yeah,
sure that they're still commission paid, and that's as
yeah,
far as
but
the
they're
sales
just straight
staff.
up not allowed to do discounts at company owned
Mm.
stores. Also, under the guise of like, if let's say what in Britain the 90s are what 125 grand or 115 grand or something like that. If you
Mm.
say I'll give you if they're 115, let's say, what about if I give you 112 and a half, and they'll just essentially have to say no. Company policy is to say no to that offer.
Don't have fun sitting on them. I'm going to a privately owned store.
Yeah,
That's where I would go.
which is kind of insane because the margin is there for that, and if you're like a serious customer, or let's say you've bought stuff before, right? It's not. Just to repeat myself again, something I've been saying for years. Don't expect to be a first-time buyer and get XYZ in terms of discounts and that sort of thing. But if you've
No,
been a repeat customer, it starts getting interesting, right? Because like there's a reason for you to come back, and there's a reason that they can expect to have sales.
start small.
Yeah,
Start small. Buy something, more or less full pop, no questions asked. Then something else, and then once you're moving into like a theater or something like that, then by then you already have a rapport that like, yes, I'm no bullshit, and that's when you can talk a deal.
Matt says if you spend a lot of money with a store, there's a bit of loyalty. Exactly, but the loyalty is hard to gauge, right? And that's what I'm trying to say when it's the first time.
Mm.
Like if you just come into a store and you don't know anybody, and on the first day of visit you just go, "I want 90s theater and 50s or whatever." There is some room for a deal in there. But if you've already bought 18s, 19, an Avant or whatever, right? Like they're gonna go like, "Oh, we're just replacing everything again. We know this person."
Mm.
Like, not only does it show that like you're willing to spend a lot, but you're also loyal to them, as in you've returned.
Yeah.
Because
And you see that loyalty here in the shop. In our shop, you see that loyalty. Like the store's been around for, I think, over 45 years.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of people that, like their parents, that they are customers now. Their parents were customers of the shop and has just grown up around certain things and certain service. And
I
that's
mean,
how
it's slightly different if there's like one store within like 2,000 miles, let's say, because like there's no option really.
Yes.
But like in Europe, Britain, even like within 2 hours drive, you can find another store.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Well, here it's either Montreal or Vancouver, right? Like you're flying over fucking what, 5,000 kilometers more or less, almost
Yeah.
4,000.
Which is
To
what,
go
a
to another showroom.
9 hour flight or something?
No, I think it's like 6 or 7 hours to go to fly to Vancouver. Because it was a 6 hour flight. Yeah, about 7 hours. 6 hour flight to Calgary from here.
Bloody hell.
You're still in one country, Callis. So.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
I mean, if again, if you didn't know, prices are going up August 1st. So if you want something now,
I would
which is
highly
funny
lock it
to
down.
see, right? When we mentioned it on the Discord, there's already people like exactly what we talked about last week. People already sort of forgot about the last price increase and go, "I better buy something now before it goes up again."
Yeah, but you know what? For me, it's just, it's not that I don't care about the price increase, but the current justification is really non-existent, because the main thing that you interface with is the app, and that is, for the lack of words, a complete disaster at this point.
Yeah.
It is a complete disaster, and I've gotten quite a bit of feedback, few emails and such from the Discord, and excuse me, I read through it, and I looked also on the BNO's part of the website, in the BOIs, where we have all the most popular articles and also the issues that have been reported. And if I go down the list, which is a little long, it's everything that we already did report on, and things so they are aware of it to an extent, I think. But I honestly don't know if it's the problem with the leadership, that they're pushing deadlines that are completely unrealistic based on the fact of how old the app is and how much code there is to worry about, that if you change certain things, how the effect of it is, and there is not enough real-time
It's like seeing a
testing
thread on
done.
a silk scarf and pulling it, and the whole scarf comes apart.
Yeah, and just boom, oh shit, now what? Well, that's what's happening. And uh, it's not just bad for people, but it's a disaster for the doing demos in the shop when things just don't work. And the weird thing is that if you go and the workaround around the grayed out, uh, I found that if you go to the artist through the grayed out part of the here, some bastard, let me just share screen, start sharing. Oh, what is sharing? Share this. Start sharing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here I am in a theater, right? And if I go to my favorite tracks, see, like, these are all gone. Let's go to JJKL. So if I tap here and I go to artist, I should be able to find the song here. Somewhere in here. And then you remove the old one and put this one in, and it works. Let's see, JJKL. Can I go? No. See, it doesn't give me the option to go to the artist. Like, the entire sorting is messed up because there's nowhere else to go. Like, in the older version of this app, you had top tracks, but there was, like, maybe 5 or 6, I don't remember, and then it was albums, right? That you can go to the albums of a bloody artist. Now you just have the infinite scroll of his songs, and you can't find what you're looking for. So that's completely boned. But I got a pigeon on my freaking dog.
Hello, pigeon.
Get away!
Do you want to co-host, pigeon?
Oh man, move, bastard. So going down the list, of what I see that has been reported, products appear to be offline, but can be operated locally, which I'm sure happens to a lot of people. Happens to me. Products cannot be added to the app. That happens to me quite a bit. And these are issues reported on the 17th of June, so very recent. Not all listening positions displayed on the remote control. I don't have a problem with that. Not possible to create a listening position from an existing one. I don't know if that was... this must have been resolved for sure, because this was reported in 23rd or in 23. So deleted sounds mode show up again, but I don't think it's the same as the yeah, this is effective parts for 5.8 app in Android, which I don't think so. New sound mode can be saved. So there is a lot. Not possible to log into Deezer. That's a new issue as well. Line and not available as a source. Biosonic features no longer available. This is very annoying. Right power link channel cannot be set. Has happened to me a few times with the BeoLab. App crashes when saving source from standby. Product already on the network cannot be found. And we have that issue in the shop where the product is hardwired. I have a set of Lab 8s on the wall that are hardwired and daisy chained network from one to the other, paired before they were wired in, because they don't allow you to pair them while they're wired to one another or being on the network. So there's that. And yeah, it's generally a lot of bad news on their side. But one thing that is really annoying for me is that it currently, my theater started to do the popcorn deal.
The popping thing?
Yeah. So it's not happening on the YouTube anymore, but it's now started on the BNO radio. I have a fireplace effect. Exactly the same that Billy posted. Yeah, he posted a video of it, and it's exactly the same. Very annoying. So I honestly think that it has something to do with what they did with the app.
Yeah, because I'm on a very old version of the app now on both my devices, and I don't have any of it, which is interesting. Because if there is a problem with B&O, it will always find me for some reason. And I don't have any of it, but I also haven't updated my apps in forever.
The hidden screen. I'm not sure. I'll try to navigate what you're talking about. Like, are you talking the metadata in the? Here, I'll go out of the theater. And I'll go into the emerge. So if I start playing music, it's gonna be in the toilet, so we don't get tagged. So if I just press play and go here. So this is BNO radio playing in. Well, it's not playing right now for some goofy ass reason. Okay. Okay, now it's playing. So this is what I see in my BNO radio, as we see here. So this is no longer clickable. You can't do shit. Power button's back, that I noticed. But let's go to the DSA. And I think, excuse me, I am logged into both here now. After the podcast, I figured it all out and did the thing. So we'll play around with the Deezer side, and then we'll go into the title side. See if the same issue is on the emerge. If not, I'll just switch and mute the bloody theater. This, I fucking hate it. I have to go here, and this just extra tappage doesn't make sense to me, man.
Yeah, and then half the stuff is grayed out that's findable on the regular Deezer app.
Yeah, so here is what's playing. And then this is, I don't know how this play queue is generated now, but I think it's my old all the tracks that I had played before. And there is no way to, other than, I think I can move this. I can garbage the song, but there's no, I guess you can do it randomly, but there's no add to queue in the artist anymore. Like from the main tracks, like sorry, not to add to queue, but like to start playback, right? Like I'm at the top of my, which is the bottom of my playlist, basically, because they reversed the order again, because that makes complete sense. That I'm gonna listen to my favorites from the first one I've ever liked to the latest recent one. What a dumbass idea! And there's nowhere now to either, how there's no button to press so you can redo the order like it used to be. When you pull down, it would show the old tracks, and then that's it. In playlists, it's the same thing. If I go here, at least this is now back because it was missing for me. So if I press play here, will this start and add it to the playlist? Okay, so they fixed this now. So it adds the playlist, but did it delete the old one, or is it gonna go? Let's go all the way to down. Yeah, it overwritten it. So that's Deezer. That's how it works. I'm not sure if I'm answering Sandeep's question about the.
No. He said, "What do you say? Read the main music screen now being generic with your personal stuff now hidden in a menu. Surely someone should ask them what's the intent."
Oh yeah, no, I fucking hate it. Honestly, I despise that they did that. It's nonsensical completely.
This is partially why I'm on the old app, because I can still not have the Deezer suggested nonsense be the main thing.
I would always turn that nonsense off. Like this, I understand. You know what? If I had the option, I would even disable my goofy flow. I don't like it in the top. I don't like this, LGBTQ color nonsense going on in the top of my shit. I don't like it. This all should be gone, and this should be the primary. This is what it should be in there. And then if you want to tap to the garbage, the recommended stuff and whatever, this should be the menu where you go to. Not, I dislike the shit out of it, first of all, and I dislike it that it's that my songs and artists are gone from there. That things are not available. Look, this one's fine, coincidentally, but same thing. I can't go to his albums. I only have the list of random ass tracks that are, like, I guess, the top tracks. I no longer have an option to go into an album of album side of the artist. I can remove them. I don't want to. Play mix, play next, play now. C'est ça. Why? Where is the like? There is nowhere to sort anything.
Well, why would you need to sort your music?
Oh, we'll do it for you. No, I want to sort my own shit. I want to know. Like, I'm certain everybody has their own way of how it should be said, but I don't know. Let's go back to the thing here. I'll see if there is any mention of it. I don't think so. Open issues. Okay, there's 14 pages of open issues, bro. So, and that's just the app. It's got the most. The theater and the app, I think app that I looked at it the other day, I was actually shocked that it's got 14 pages of open issues, but I guess it goes from all the way to the beginning of time.
Yeah, and I'm not actually sure how many people with theaters are actually reporting back all the time.
Well, it gets bloody tiring, though, man. I honestly, it gets bloody tiring. Like
I understand because, like, if you report an issue, for it to be changed is a month to 2 months. If you're lucky, sometimes it's longer.
So yeah, let's go back in here for a second and let's go into this. Sorry, title for streaming service. So we are still in the shower.
Showering with Willie.
That's it. We're still in the shower. So let's go to the
shower
here.
music.
So this is what the title looks like, bro. It's, I think, more or less the same, where the favorite tracks and there's a specific curated by BNO playlist.
Yeah, which is okay, whatever.
So I also try to play the Dolby Atmos from the app, like through the theater, Dolby Music, right? Not impressed. It wasn't anything special, even though I had to go and change. So I created a Dolby Atmos music preset. So yeah, but
if you're in, can you go back to their main page, because I haven't used Tidal in a while yet. So
so you can just play that. Let's see. Does it do that? Yeah. Oh shit. Son of a bitch. So that's now it's playing max, I guess, is what the quality.
Yeah, hi-fi, FLAC, whatever.
Well, they're going into FLACs now, I take it.
Yeah. But
so far it's not crashing nothing. Let's go see, and if it did, yeah, it added the whole playlist again. Okay, so that's smooth. Just like I said.
It's almost like they seem to completely have taken the eye off the ball to add Tidal and like whatever to Deezer, and if it breaks anything in Deezer, we're not looking at it anyway. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah, I think they're concentrating onto the Tidal much more than they'd concentrate on the Deezer, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it shouldn't break stuff that has been in products for years, right? Like, and this is where I get extremely annoyed.
Honestly, maybe what I think it happens that they are so focused on the Tidal that they forget to every now and then go here and change their streaming service to Deezer and look what the fuck is going on the other side of the ocean.
Yeah, but it's not even just Tidal and or Deezer. It's the same that I can't vouch for this because my stage still isn't up. But the amount of people that essentially say their stage or contour is essentially broken.
It's messed up, man. Like for people that, let's say, we have installations where they only have the LG remote control. Oh my god! Let me grab a coffee. When they have the LG remote control only, they are stuck with non-sound mode more or less because it's broken now. It doesn't, and you have to go to the app and change it in the app, or you change it with the phone. I mean, with the remote control if you have a BeoRemote 1, and then it goes back if you change it. Let's say you go from a video or the panel, you go to the BNO radio or Deezer or whatever. It changes back to none. So you have to open the bloody app again and change it to music, and then it sounds correct. But God forbid you turn on the TV, you have to turn on the app again and change it to TV or movie, whatever, before it because it sounds weird.
Yeah, which, like, on the stage, you could sort of go, well, yeah, it's kind of basic, but again, it can happen, but a fix shouldn't be like a month out.
Well, basic or not, brother, it's still a fucking expensive ass soundbar compared to anything else on the market. Up to now, Sonos worked flawless. So, if you compare their app experience, I'm not talking about the sound of the product and whatever, but I'm just talking living with the thing as far as the setup goes and making, working with it, right?
Yeah.
The sound is a completely different animal. I understand that. I'm not discussing that.
But the fact that it's in a contour that's like 8 or 9 grand or whatever.
Right. And it doesn't fucking work. It's not cool.
No.
It's not cool. And they need to really address that issue, man, because it's hard to make a sale. And also for me, I don't feel good about it when I have to go to people in the house and, like I get sent for a service call because there's a problem with the stage, which we can all know that it's not, because it's the bloody app.
Yeah. I heard from one of your customers that was in your shop recently that wanted a demo, and a bunch of things started crashing.
That's it. We all know who it was, but I was there actually. So yeah, man, it's a mess. It's really a mess, and essentially B&O stores struggle with it the most, in my opinion. Whatever network you run, good for you, but the shit doesn't just show up on the network, and it's playing like Harmony opened. Fucking James Bond's going in it, muted, right? As a demo. It doesn't show on the app, it says offline. Call this the man. What the fuckers? Like, come on. So it's just not cool, man. And you open the speakers and freaking there's a little exclamation mark beside it on the Lab 8s on the wall, which are hardwired directly to the bloody switch.
Mm-hmm.
Or all the rest is hardwired to the switch. So it's just, I don't understand. And I think the only people that really haven't had any or gotten affected by the stage owners that we have, because we have a lot of stages in the field, and I think it's also a proof that a lot of people don't use it as a B&O app end of it at all. Some people don't even have it installed on their phone. They just use it as a dumb soundbar, and I think those people are not affected by whatever's going on with the app, because there is no app to be had. Yeah. It's just running as a standalone ASC product.
Yeah, which works. Ed says, also since the update, I've noticed that I'm no longer able to source or play music from my BeoSound 9000 or BeoSound 5 on anything connected to the BeoSound BeoConnect Core.
BeoConnect Core does not have a working line input. I had reported that as well. There's no working line input. For some reason, we had this issue with.
Is that since the app? Because I think it used to work, right?
No, it's been a month, I would say, that the line input has stopped working. So yeah, because we have a client that unfortunately wants to run a Sonos into his Lab 5, and the old core was buzzing the speakers for some weird reason. Also, the speakers that were installed there was no way really to run the cables, and whoever ran the cables, they just threw them like around the fireplace, which more or less over time melted the fucking wires completely. So that was that for that. And when we went there with it, we replaced it all, blah blah, got it all set up and working. Man, turn on the Sonos, go to the bloody go to the sources here. Do I even have an option here? Yeah, go to the sources. I don't have line input on here anymore. Interesting. Okay, let's just do that. Let me just check. I don't want to be shitting on things when they might not be correctly set up, because I know that I have stuff hidden here. So let's put the line in back. See if it's actually even. Come on, grab and move. No. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna put down. Good boy. So now let's go back And I don't think that I will be able to select line in from the top-down menu here. Oh, music. There we go. So there is a line in. Cool. That's fixed now. So here it would work. I just don't have anything plugged into it. And I also, what I did, because there's, for some reason, man, I have found that if you have a line input set up into a theater, I highly recommend going here and low latency. Sorry, line in sensitivity. I'm blind today. I disable that. I completely disabled the line in sensitivity, so it doesn't trigger automatically when there's just a little bit of a buzz, and all of a sudden the theater shuts the screen, goes white light, and it's in a line in mode, which nothing has played. So if you have this disabled, you'll never have that issue, but you'll still be able to pull the line in source from your Beo Remote 1, if you can see it there. So you can still select it here, and then this sucker will see as I turn it on. It should be set to line in now. Yeah, it's set to line in. So if we go to BNO Radio, put ABC Lounge, turn this down a little more. Yeah. So yeah, you can do it from the Beo Remote 1, but it does not affect it AutoSense. I just disabled the AutoSense. My personal recommendation, y'all. Is there a power off? Yeah, there is power off. Okay, shut up. Boom. There we go. So
not having an off button is also fucking infuriating on the main page.
It's senseless, man. It makes no sense.
So now I have to go back to the source to go back to up top so that I can exit the source there, which will just leave it in this weird standby.
Yeah.
And then I have to wait for it to time out, essentially.
So, and there should also be more, I don't know.
Which is literally now what I use my Halo for 90% of the time, right? Go to individual devices to turn individual devices off.
I just do all standby from the Halo. What I didn't like, but I appreciate it now on the Mozart platform, essentially, that let's say you have the theater streaming music or playing BNO radio, and you join I join the Emerge. If I'm leaving and I just shut off the theater, it'll automatically put the Emerge to standby. It stops that stream, which is cool. That doesn't happen on the ASC. They just keep going. Whatever zone didn't, or you have you press and hold the remote for 3 seconds and do an old standby command.
But so I often have where I just want to do one zone off. Like I prefer the ASC way, honestly.
It makes sense. Yeah, because if you want to, like, let's say you're streaming from the Emerge in the bathroom, like if you have a shower, right, and I want to listen to the music here, but I want to turn off the Emerge, I literally have to just now turn on the theater again, right, to that same radio station per se. Or if it's a playlist, then if it's on a flow, you're screwed. You can't just generate that same flow pattern on the theater that's playing on the Emerge. So you either completely turn down the Emerge and play into the theater, or yeah, it just there's a couple things that are wonky, but I don't mind.
I mean, this is much less of an issue than just
at least
shit
it works.
That doesn't work anymore.
So here's another odd thing. So it doesn't show that there is another. So you can't cold
but it does
start
show
a
it's
product.
Linked.
It does show it linked to itself, more or less.
Which
makes no sense.
Yeah.
So let's just go with the flow. I will select a radio station in here. Sure. Let's go here and turn it down all the way. So now we're playing the radio. Now if I go to join, it shows that I now can join because there's something playing. Makes no sense. This should be shown at all times.
You'd think so.
At all times. So okay, let's turn this off. Right? It does the same way. But what I want to do is I want to go to the bathroom now. go to the bathroom, shower, and let's play. Go back. Sorry. Let's just play this there.
It's so
Okay.
much clicking. It's almost like it's meant
It's
for
too much.
cursor use, right? Like it's
And
not so
now-
bad if you use a mouse like you're doing right now.
Oh yeah, but with people, it's much smaller than I have this on a 32-inch screen. My app is as big as a fucking 17-inch iPad, right?
Yeah.
So it's much easier than squeezing. Because some people still run the old school phones, man. It's like the little diddly widdly. It's hard to even be accurate clicking. So if I now go to living room, it's gonna be the same thing. I tap here and it shows the shower is available. But you can do it if I just turn this off. I do that. Is it still playing? Yeah, it's playing. So it's still a little weird, but here I can't shut off. I have to go into the main or sub menu, turn it off. It did, and then that's it. And in here I can do the old put products to all standby. Yes, boom, there we go. But it is a lot of clicking. You are correct. Absolutely correct.
So
another bug is that the halo always shows up online, even if I'm not home. These are grayed out, like the level is, because it's turned off, but the halo is always black. Always happy. Can't do anything with it, but it's always happy. Also, it's missing the wall bracket style instead of just this, because I don't understand why not.
I mean,
so
obviously this app is made on a computer, right? But I just wondered, like, do people just cursory glance test it with a mouse as well, like you use right now? Because then it makes a lot more sense than if you actually have a phone that you're like using fingers on. I mean, the off button, the general off is insane. Because often I don't want everything to turn off. Like, how the hell do you turn your 50s off with an external source? You just wait for it to time out now.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also, like, why?
So, yeah.
I mean, if you had 90s installed, you'd notice a lot more of this weirdness.
Well, I notice it in the shop, but thankfully the 90s are hooked up to the 83-inch Harmony.
Yeah, but at least with the shop, you go home at the end of the day.
Yeah, but I still live the headache. Don't get me wrong. I still live the headache. I live the headache at home. So you're trying to enjoy something, all of a sudden crackles.
I mean, if you go to your portals, right? Try setting the ANC to a different level. No, not on the device, in the app, because you could do it in the app.
Transparent.
It's full on or full off.
Or the middle ground, which is neutral. Yeah.
But you used to have a slider where you had infinite, like from neutral was just a middle, and then you could go either right or left. It's not doable anymore.
Yeah, you can't even like hold that yellow thing and drag it.
Yeah,
that would make
like
sense.
It's not even a pop-up menu from there. So it's so weird. I don't understand. The same thing with
what I don't like also is that the entire button is not a freaking button. Because if I click here, nothing happens. If I click here, it mutes the mic. Same thing for sound modes. Okay, this one works. But some of the button allocations, like the push, whatever, now I can't get out of it. Oh, okay. Oh, shiitake mushrooms.
It has decided you're done.
What a shame.
But it's the same with the E8s, and I know the E8s are no longer sold, so it's a minor complaint, right? But you could set your transparency mode from non-existent to full transparent, which but with the E8s that means whatever is playing, right? If you go to transparency mode, it's like an inversion of volumes. And on full transparent, it just means that everything is transparent. Whatever your source is still playing, you just are not able to hear it. Which is really annoying, because at that point, like, why not make it a pause button?
Yeah.
But you used to be able to set that. But in the newer app, it's just like something you had for years is no longer available. It's like, what the hell are we doing?
I agree. That's just silly. Is there?
Because sometimes, if I don't know, let's say you're listening to something, podcast, YouTube, whatever, right? And you go into a store and you just want to quickly pay and say hi. It's not like you can still listen to whatever you were listening to, because it's not a level conversation where you actually have to like pay a lot of attention beyond the pleasantries.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, I can do two things at once. But now it's to the point where, like, press transparency mode and whatever you were listening to, you don't hear at all.
Yes.
But it keeps on playing, so you're just missing it now.
This should be more. Sorry, I'm listening. This is another thing that is much more easier to adjust it with the mouse than, like, let's say to the 90 poof, and I let go of the click.
Try that with your finger.
Bro, it is silly. Normally what I do, I would, if I go to the base management, I would click on it or tap on it, right? And I pull down, and then you can adjust it somewhat more accurately, I guess, with your finger, because you can see the line better. And then you roll your finger on the screen to fine tune it, and then hopefully when you lift it, it doesn't jump to 91.
Also, I would almost say, yes, it reads right where the 90 hertz is on the right. But if you're right-handed, your thumb is over where you're reading what the number is. So you're sort of doing one of these things to...
It should do the same pop-up as the volume does on here, you see?
Yeah.
Like, it should dim the center of the screen and give you that that value node inside.
Because it's not so bad on computer, but...
Yeah. So, still no cleaning mode that was requested. Apparently,
I don't understand that at all. Like, why the hell is that not implemented when so many other things are changed? Quite honestly, a lot of things for the worst.
Yeah, I'm gonna try something, because I never was able to play AirPlay in Join, and I think this is why. Oops. Got enough remote. Yeah.
And then you go back to the main. Oh no, that changed.
Yeah, it goes back to now but I wish it went back to here instead.
Yeah.
And AirPlay is enabled here. Okay, cool. Wireless 250. That's good enough. I don't have any lag issues, so I'm good. Boom.
Yeah, like Sandeep said, for the theater owners, which is like a major request, is like, why is the signal info not on the main page? Especially since you're recommended to have 2 different listening positions for Atmos content.
Because it doesn't auto-select, which is silly. Like, these 2 should be gone, like we said a long time ago, and this should be in there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be opposed to the fact that this was part of the main screen menu, just down here. Like, I don't even, like, not even tap on it, just to have the signal info. Have it like signal info here, and just put Dolby Atmos, whatever. I don't care what the output is, because I know what the output of it is. Sorry. Where the fuck am I going now? I know what the output is.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing. Let's go call this. Turn on the radio. Am I in the proper? Yes, I am here. So why is it not showing it? Signal info.
Because it has to reload and...
Okay, let's
Also, with internal apps, it like BNO Radio and Deezer, it sometimes doesn't show you what it is. It just shows you the bit, I think, or was it one of the two?
okay, let's change it to Deezer. I think I'm logged into flipping. Okay, so that's Deezer now. It's in codec. Let's see if it actually plays Deezer. Yeah. Okay, so it's playing Deezer, but did I switch to Deezer?
No.
So you can actually, yeah, see, I'm mainstreaming services title, so it's still serviceable. Okay, so let's leave it a title now, and let's
See what your signal info is.
exactly, let's put this nonsense on Blackbird. There you go. She's now riding a pony. Let's go to settings, signal information.
Oh,
Okay, so it gives you that. It doesn't give you the channel. Look, I don't care for that.
weird. For Deezer, it didn't show you the sample rate and bit depth.
No, for Deezer it said.
It just hit the flat kilobits per second.
Yeah, it doesn't say that here.
But it didn't give you the sample rate and bit depth.
Yeah.
So, like, what's going on? Like, why?
Where's the consistency?
Like, even the codec is not that important.
So.
But it would be not. I mean, the codec is more important, I think, with video, right, than with music necessarily.
Let's turn on the prime. Let's go to signal info and see what happens here. Okay, firing up.
Now it has channel output allocations, true image.
Okay.
You need to select something to play, obviously.
Yeah. We're getting there. Apparently, it's taking a little bit longer than normal. So let's go to something that is top movies. Something that has John Wick.
Sure.
John Wick it is. Okay, watch now.
Yeah, the menu for most apps are in PCM 2.0.
There we go, Dolby Digital Plus. So now I'm going to output. I'm going to go to speaker, and I'm going to select Sofa instead of Sofa Atmos, and it doesn't change the speaker output. If I go to Sofa Atmos, it changes it to 7.1. If I go to Sofa, it should go back to 7.1. Yes. And I think the reason why my 7.1 is showing is because if I go to Sofa here, oopsie daisy, clickety clack, smackety smack.
That poll method is still.
I don't even want to talk about it. So, because I have left back and right back as virtual speakers, that is why it's going to 7.1. So if I turn these off, son of a homeless bastard, edit, show more options, duplicaties, sofa copy, and then we go down here, and go none, Zippo, click, and right back, Zippo, click. Yeah, I make it look fast, but I'm in this app daily, like literally daily, because we sell a lot of BNO, thankfully. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to signal info, which should be under sound, but it's not, or it should be just there. So, and it shouldn't be buried that far down. See, now the channel output allocation is proper because I am in Sofa copy. If I go to Sofa again, it goes to 7.1, and it does it rather fast, and 5.1. So the codec obviously doesn't change, but the output channel allocation does change relatively smoothly. So let's go back and try something that people can't do, which is going to sofa, copy, and deleting it. It's gone.
Is it gone from your remote, or has your remote not updated yet?
Let's go screen, speaker, sofa, kitchen, table, lounge, sofa, Atmos, sofa, music. It's gone from the remote as well. So that is working. Let's go back out of this John Wick nonsense. Power off. It should go to.
So most people with the BSN Theater never had this issue, nor do I, for that matter. But then again, I'm on a very old phone app side, so I don't know what to make of this, quite honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people say, yes, it's a new issue, and some people said they used to have it, but not anymore. Which is, like, good, but, like, I still wonder, like, why do some have it and why some don't? Is, like, there a hardware difference, or, like... Because it shouldn't happen at all.
No. These I haven't played with yet. I'm leaving them as they are because I found that they really have no function. I don't know if they swapped it or changed it, but the true image side of things is not functional properly, or is not functioning properly.
Where is it? If you go down, was it stage width and envelopment?
The stage width works.
Yeah, and envelopment too. I was playing around with it yesterday, and it made a huge difference.
Yes.
Also, if you go on to the I button up top, right, it'll give you an explanation for stage width. It says if you put it to maximum, it'll sound like the sound is coming from where your speakers actually are, which is like, what? Why would I?
Yeah.
So essentially the default is if you have your speakers, let's say 4 meters apart, it'll sound like they're narrower by design. And I don't understand that.
For me, it affects a lot in the vocal side of things. That's what it does. It definitely affects me. I have it, like I said, number 2. Because wider you go, the weirder it sounds. So that's those are the things that haven't really been or they didn't work on this side of the things. But the envelopment is essentially very important in a way that instead of you messing with the rear channels dBs, if you had them set properly to proper levels, you can increase them by doing this, where obviously let's put it to the explanation to what it does. Envelopment allows you to set the desired amount of perceived width or spaciousness from your loudspeakers with the surround and back speaker rows. At its maximum setting, the surround information will appear to collapse to the center back location. Note that this control has no effect to the signal when the processing is set to direct or down mix. Of course, it doesn't. You bypass the entire true image engine.
Yeah.
But that is these two make a big difference. The height, a little bit, it moves where your perceived, I guess, the center of the screen is.
The one thing that sort of, I generally like true image. I do think we're having a bit more of a dumbed down version of it on the theater for some reason, or is not as a properly worked through version.
I don't think it's properly configured. Like it was tuned and tweaked on because those menus were super hidden in the very advanced settings on the Avance and BV11s and whatever.
Because I'm not exactly sure what height speakers will do, because like any Dolby Atmos stream or disc, right, is still in 7.1 with metadata. So like they don't really explain if Direct still full on uses the height the way with True Image On does, which is, in my experience, because I have so many height speakers, it's kind of like, I'm not sure what to think about all that.
There is that height. Height determines the level of the feeds to all loudspeakers in conversation with the height speaker rule. It will have no effect on other loudspeakers in your system. If the height control is set to minimum, then no signal will be sent to the height loudspeakers. Note that this control also has no effect on the signal, blah, blah. So essentially, you're directing how much you want the 17s to be blasting.
Yes, but only if true image is on, right?
Yes, correct. Any of those functions are only when the true image is on. If you have it in direct,
Yeah, so
the left and right balance, that's fine.
But what is the up and down mixer for Atmos when it's in direct? Like, they don't really tell you that. Is that just a Dolby standard, or?
Yes. Yeah, there's no way for you to mess with it unless you mess with the dB levels like you would on a normal receiver for the high channels.
So, yeah. I mean, I guess it would be nice then if, like, they would actually tell us what's doing what by what standard if you just do direct. Because it's kind of...
I think if it goes to direct, like, you lose a whole bunch of volume, definitely. Let's go to Prime again. And let's shut this off. Let's put it to direct. And let's go to signal info. Boom. So it's in direct output mode. And I think direct means, yeah, because if I go to speaker and I go Sofa Atmos, it's going to be much more, 7.4. Okay, so it's still using something from the true image because it's...
yeah, but it will just keep the non-allocated channel silent, right?
Hold on. Yeah, well,
but the thing is, if you play Atmos, there's a bunch of metadata in there that it has no channel allocation. But the external speakers are used to fill it up because it's like 3D spatial data.
Mm-hmm.
But if the non-allocated speakers are always quiet, then, like, that's why I'm trying to ask, right? Like, because essentially in the Dolby standard for Atmos, it will use speakers that are non-allocated when they're measured in, because the sound is, let's say, positioned here.
Yes.
But they don't really let you know if the way I read it is if you have like a 7.1.4 setup, mm-hmm. and you have direct set, but it's an Atmos codec, which is always 7.1 because there are no more channels, but there is metadata. Are the non-defined speakers used or not? Or the non-allocated speakers?
So
because
far,
if you have like a Marantz...
But they're being used in a direct mode here. I'm going through all my speaker presets.
No, I understand, but like a Marantz receiver would essentially does the direct thing, right? But it fills up the spatial with the non-allocated speakers regardless, because the Dolby Atmos
the way it works,
encode or decoder is still an upmixer.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. I would like to know how that goes, or because what's the point of having any sort of height speaker otherwise?
No, it makes no difference.
Yeah. Whereas if you have like a Marantz or Denon or whatever, they will use that non-allocated speaker anyway, because it's measured into the upmixer of Dolby.
Yes.
Like, you're not going to find a disc that is 11.1 point whatever, because they have 8 tracks of audio with metadata.
Mm-hmm.
But that metadata makes the room a shape, essentially, because the receiver knows what shape the room is, because you've measured it.
But that's also assuming that you do a proper install job on that and you run the calibration microphone. from
Yes,
within
of
the system
course.
itself. Yeah,
I mean, you have to, otherwise it doesn't know where stuff is, right?
yeah.
Maybe
But,
a bit of a technical rant, but like, would be nice to know what's going on if you choose to use Direct.
yeah. Do you notice how often the living room refreshes? Like if you guys, I'll just keep the app on, and you'll see that it just goes and comes back to living room. It's checking status, I guess, periodically while the app is on.
It
It's
may
pretty
do that
interesting.
without the app being on. It may see stuff on your network, like, hey, is it playing? Hey, does it want me to
I
join?
think it's doing the status check on everything. I think that's what is happening. Hmm.
By the way, Stefan says new bug report. If you're playing music via Deezer app on iOS, if you go from the B&O app back to Deezer and go to select an audio output, the speaker gain goes to max volume setting.
That's interesting.
Uh
That wouldn't be replicable on my side because I don't have iOS device handy. Actually, I do have an iPad here.
so that's I take it that's AirPlay. So if you go from AirPlay to the B&O app back to the Deezer app.
Okay, let's try it.
uh well, you're wearing headphones already. They'll cover your ears a little bit.
Okay. Oh shit, do I have Deezer on this? No, I don't. I see. I can't download it because I don't have the password for this app. But AirPlay, you say, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Charlene. Should they show up? Let's I fudge, I'll just do some YouTube nonsense. Music.
Oh yeah, you have YouTube Red, so you can use that.
Classic rock, whatever. And then we play it to the living room. Rolling down.
Start up. Dun, dun. You hear the hard drive spinning.
It's not playing, bro. It says it's playing.
Yay! So you have a new issue.
See. Go back out. Go back in. See if it does the shower emerge. Play. No sound. Okay, then I will do what I always tell people to do: reboot your bloody iPad. So let's do that. I'm gonna reboot the bastard and see if we get successful. But so far it's saying that it's playing. I don't know why it's not playing, but it says AirPlay. And what is my music deal here? Sofa music. Okay. Did I actually? I don't think I have set that. I think it just keeps it because that's what it was. Let's go back to the source. And reorder music list. Actually, sorry, no. Source behavior. Source behavior. AirPlay at the top. Okay, I did set it. I accidentally went through everything correctly. So let's go back to this goofy hard rock nonsense.
Speaking of bugs, by the way, while you're doing that, I don't know if
Yep.
it's a bug, but I had a comment on my channel where somebody was saying that the BeoConnect core, they couldn't get Chromecast to work in a wired configuration.
Haven't played with the Chromecast, man.
It worked when they took the LAN cable out, and it was just sitting on Wi-Fi.
That's bloody weird.
So I don't know if this is a bug, if this is reportable. They said it worked fine, but they prefer stuff being hardwired, and where they had it was a like bad spot for Wi-Fi. But Chromecast was just not an option in the drop down until they took the cable out.
Weird.
Yeah, so I did. If you're listening, B&O, could you have a look at that?
Okay, let's see if we can get some sound here. Okay, it's working now.
So then go to the B&O app to set a different speaker group, and then go back. See if it like rockets the volume.
I'm gonna do it on the iPad, so you should see it if I obviously when I change the speaker preset. So let's put this into kitchen. Okay, and then I go back out of this, and then I go back to AirPlay. It's playing.
Yeah, but for you, it doesn't rocket the volume to max, fortunately.
No, but it says it's muted here initially for some weird reason, but my volume was somewhere around here. So it is working, at least on my end, for some weird reason. Maybe because I'm doing this also with the app or Android app. But no, I had to reboot the iPad. By the way, I had to reboot the iPad to make the AirPlay work. But that's not an uncommon problem that I had seen with the iOS devices. That when the nonsense stops working, then or AirPlay stops working, you need to just reboot the bloody thing. And a lot of people don't reboot their iPhones nowhere near as often as they should. Some people at all. And yeah, then it just gets wrecked. I guess the same goes even for the theater or anything, that if you're adding more speakers, I highly recommend just factory resetting the whole thing and start from scratch. You will not have any ghosts in the machine or whatever else have you.
Yeah. Yeah, the good old turn it on and off again thing is still a valuable thing to do.
Oh, it's still a valid proposition, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a valid proposition.
Jacob says, what do you think I should use as front panels for Harmony? 5, 8, 18, 20s or 28s? I also have a set of 17.3 and 2 sets of...
There's no BLF 17.3. Maybe 12-3s is what he was
meant. Or 17s and 3s? Front panels? I guess you mean front speakers. 20s. If they work, like in terms of like furniture wise.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go 28s. There's nothing wrong with 28s. I mean, you're essentially... I mean, 5 is also... Like, you can go 5s if you can find them. I don't know what you have already and how much you're willing to spend. Like... Again, I'm not against 5s, but you have to know when you buy them that you could pay for their repairs. And
you eventually will. It's not even could. You eventually will pay for it.
Yeah. So, if you can find, let's say, 5s for $5,000 and you have $5,000, I wouldn't buy them because most likely the repair bill is going to be
around 8.
Well, depending on where you live.
Yes. Yes, that's for sure. Finn French Gaming is asking if I ever played to use Dolby Atmos harmonies. I know.
Yes.
More or less. That's the answer. It doesn't have the codec support. Theater is the first one that has that ability in the B&O's portfolio. And I would honestly go for the theater no matter what. Even with the bugs and shit, I would still go for the theater over the Harmony at this point, because it's just if it works very well. And if you're not like I am, just turn on the YouTube and whatever, watch a movie on it, it's perfect.
If
But
you're like Billy, you're probably pulling your hair out now, which is,
yeah,
in all honesty, is the minority of people, right?
yes.
But like,
Well, I don't think they would be in the business if this was a majority of people,
no, like
because it's
again,
crazy.
my theater has essentially been fine all this time.
But
Well, it's just
there is
something
no
to be
but.
aware of that it's a newer
Yeah,
platform. Like, and I don't think it's going to go weird for any reason necessarily, but like, we're in this weird period where like the phone app specifically is in a fucked up state, which fucks up a lot of other things.
yeah.
I mean, the Harmony is very pretty and it's very rock solid. I mean, is Atmos the end all and be all?
I don't think so.
It's very nice, but I honestly think you kind of need the budget for height speakers or something up firing for it, right? And I
Mm.
don't really consider to be the front up firing speakers in the theater itself to be adequate for that. It helps a little bit, but
I honestly think that that entire theater setup works the best. Let's say the way I use it here, where I actually sit in a constant position and I use the virtual channels where the beam forming does lie to your brain significantly that you hear shit that normally would not be possible to hear. That's the only thing. But my girlfriend, when she sits on the side of the couch, she's out of that zone. So for her, it's a little different of an experience.
yeah.
And usually she just takes a pillow and lays in my lap anyway. So she's listening to the movie in one ear. So what the fuck do you care for Atmos at that point? But I sit there and I get the full brunt of it. And I have to say, the theater here or anywhere that I've set it up and tuned properly after the document release and whatever, they do sound better than I can make them sound in our shop, because the
Mm-hmm.
shop is just too much. Things rattled, old fixtures and whatever. But in the house, it's awesome. Absolutely solid product.
I mean, okay. I don't mean to say the front up firings in the theater are bad. It's just if you want the full on Atmos full fat experience, right? Like,
Then you need to invest in speakers.
yeah, and I'm not even saying buy 8s for that or 17s. Like, it's 3s. It's fine. It's half the budget of either,
Mm,
but it makes so much difference when the speaker has some power, any power, right? Like even 4s, but they're actually up there.
yes.
Like, you can like fake a lot of things quite well these days, but it's hard to match when something is actually there.
Yes.
And that's
Yeah, no, it's a physical, like it's physics at that point, right?
yeah.
Like, yeah, you can beam form and bend and whatever, but if you have something that actually is blasting that signal out of that specific location or close to it, it's a different story.
So if if you want to use Atmos, so to say, right? Like, I don't know what you mean by that, as in use the codec and use whatever you have, then sure. But that's not, I would say to use Atmos properly would be to have speakers mounted on high up on your wall or on your ceiling or something like that.
Or actually have them in ceiling like the Atmos supposed to
Sure,
be in,
any of those variations.
yeah, four corners of the couch.
Yeah,
I'm laughing.
I mean, you can use Atmos in a 5.1 setup, sure, but and it'll sound a certain way, and there is still some spatial info in there. But when you have your speakers only on one plane versus like two, like as in making it 3 dimensional, it's a big difference.
Mm,
So, I mean, and it's something you need to budget for. I personally feel that doesn't mean my opinion is right. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, I would budget for, and I wouldn't even say you need four ceiling speakers. Two is plenty, really.
Yeah.
I mean, when I had my Harmony with,
Here, I'll stop sharing this.
was it 5.x.2, that was a massive increase. And the Harmony sounds fantastic with 5, like is in 5.1 with 2 heights. Like that was the biggest upgrade in sound I had and had since. Like you can add more. I have more now. But beyond that point, it's marginal compared to adding a second plane.
Mm.
Jacob says, in a setup with Harmony, BeoLab 28, BeoLab 17, BeoLab 3, and 2 sets of BeoLab 4, where should I place the speakers? To me, that's a really easy answer. I would say forget the BeoLab 4s because they're kind of too anemic for the rest. BeoLab 28's up front, BeoLab 17's rear, BeoLab 3's high up on the wall or ceiling, pointing down at you. God, that's amazing. That's a killer setup. And by high up on the wall, I mean like wherever you're sitting, like slightly behind you, at like 10 degrees behind you.
Yes.
Not 90, like 100 degrees, more or less there. I mean,
I agree.
That's would be great.
Yeah,
and
lab
set them
as
height
speakers.
surrounds, and you're going to be amazed.
Yeah. Yeah, lab 8s are good for height speakers for sure.
Yeah.
It's almost a shame because you give up the entire touch panel interface to a reflection of that glass in the ceiling, but and they're in a power link mode or WISA mode, whichever way you choose.
I mean, sometimes I feel like if I were to start over again, right, and I would go more minimalist depending on sound or room design and stuff, I would get like a shit ton of 8s. As in, get a 19, maybe 2 if I'm gonna be crazy, but then just get 8s front, 8 sides, 8 rears, and then 8s.
Yeah.
And you're still not going to use all of them for all the volume they can produce.
Oh, absolutely not. But you can also play around with bass redirection, so you can have way more bass coming out of the speakers that are in these anemic roles, like the heights, right, where they can still help out. So, yeah, there's a lot you can do with it, especially in a theater. Like the amount of playability that you have within the system's environment is damn near infinite as far as the combinations of presets you can use and how
it's
blah
almost
blah
a problem.
than distances. I would say so. It's problematic in a way that I honestly think that there should be a feature that that I think needs to be introduced where you have Atmos or surround or DTS, whatever codec. Like let's say when you have actual height channel signal coming in from the source, you should have an option, let's say a tab that says Atmos and surround, and you should allocate, let's say for the Atmos, I'm allocating this listening preset with all these, just like you said, my favorites, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because that's what I did for YouTube per se. I have one position that's to the kitchen and the other one is to the lounge. The volume, that nothing changes, but the stand turns and the speakers roles change as well. But I think that should be, and it should be defaulted. So if you have Dolby Atmos, I want to use Sofa Atmos as my default movie watching position. So every time there's a Dolby soundtrack to decode it or detect it, it should bring that speaker function or speaker position as active.
Yeah.
Which you can set a default speaker preset or position in the source behavior, but then that's not a modifiable feature anymore, or it doesn't change when you're going from DTS to Atmos. Like there's that disconnect where you have to be conscious of what content you're watching and switching channels directly, or switching listening presets accordingly. Sorry.
The only thing, by the way, I would probably say for if you go the harmony route, get a Fire Stick, an Apple TV, something like that for your apps, and stick it into the sound center. Because you'll get more channels, but it still ignores the Atmos spatial thing. And I mean, the Harmony is just a very nice TV. It's an elegant TV. It's
Yes.
I mean, and if you like watching DVDs and stuff like that, it has actually more codecs to play with. It does DTS. Christian says, that's what I do with Home Assistant, automatic sound mode, listening position based on signal. I don't understand why the theater doesn't do this natively.
Yeah.
Where that's what I always thought
difference too.
True Image was made for, right? Like,
well, I guess the True Image is just locked into the speaker preset that you are, or position that you're currently have active.
Yeah, but there's no reason for like a lot of the voices to go into the height up firing sides, right?
No, makes no sense.
So if a lot of that sort of weirdness was out of it, there would be no reason to switch listening positions.
Yeah, and the only way that you can make it convenient to, let's say, two sources is allocate two my buttons on each side of the remote control, where you have, let's say, Prime Atmos and Prime Surround, Netflix Atmos and Netflix Surround.
Yeah, which is like,
that's a little silly.
You're throwing away a my button at that point.
But then it saves you from, the hassle constantly going back and forth. If you're not using the my buttons for any other feature, then I think that would be the most logical way to do it. And if your my buttons are, like for me, it's simpler if the theater is wall mounted, because then you don't have a need for that many different presets to have, like, let's say, one for kitchen, right, and blah 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 blah. So then you can utilize it differently. You can have two for.
Yeah, I use my theater stand essentially as an art piece. Like, I barely ever move it.
Yeah, so
it's more of a party trick. Like, hey, my theater can move. Like, hey, have you ever seen a soundbar independently move? New person.
That's
other than that, it's just like, it's straight, just sitting there. It's static.
Yeah, it's a nice piece to look at, that's for sure. But yeah, I think that's a very big need, that they should address it. Really, they should address it. And I think it also should be almost a part of the setup in the app, where it when you're listening or creating listening presets or positions, it should guide you through the fact that, okay, well, which one would you like to use for surround, and which one would you like to use for Dolby Atmos, and which one would you like to do for music, right? And it should automatically, well, the third one doesn't matter, because music you can set into the source behavior, because music usually you listen to it in one spot anyways, or you have the speakers play in one side. But if it's the surround issue, then it's a different story, because, like, are you playing, how are you playing it, how many people are watching, if you want to have, if you have the ability to set narrow and wide mode in the speakers, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, because the app clearly sees which codec is being used. So
yeah.
There is no reason for this switching to be done manually, really.
So, Ed's asking, to resolve software issues after an update to resolve software issues, does it help to completely delete the product from the BNO app from all connected iOS devices and reinstall, or bad idea? I found that had no effect. We've done it with one of the theaters in the shop. When I did the 50s, I had to reset the 55-inch theater on the floor stand, because there were so many different speaker preset. That one is the most heaviest loaded as far as its listening positions. And my personal experience, if you piss around with speakers as far as physically connecting them into the system, and then removing them and maybe connecting a different set. Fucking reset the theater, man. Reset the whole thing after you have everything connected that you wish to have connected as a new setup. Reset the factory and start from scratch, and then you won't have any ghost and nonsense. And it's much safer and more logical way to go about it. So that's what I would recommend. But with the bugs in the app now, I have not been able to successfully or would be successfully able to advise you that you should uninstall the app and reinstall it, and things go away.
The thing is, it's really hard to tell if the software issue is local to your device, right? So if it's
Exactly.
local to your device, it helps. If it's not local to your device, which is most often the case, it doesn't matter, because like your account is still on the B&O server side. This is how often when you re-download the B&O app, you don't have to re-input your password. It just enters in your account.
So,
I mean, if you say full on reset, factory reset, reinstall, sure, that cures a lot of weirdness because it like wipes whatever potentially could.
Also, they've done something with the tuning, man, in the last software update for the theater, because it did become better sounding. And same thing with the Emerge. There was some sort of I don't know if it was released in a bug release, or maybe they just sorted out some sort of a PCM issue or encoder issue of some sorts that had some maybe hindrance acoustically to something. But the theater sounds amazing now. And same as with the Emerge. I actually reran the auto tune on it. And or the whatever the calibration, and I find it sounds better, more richer. So it's weird. Yeah, except the popcorn deal, Chubba. I get it.
I'm just happy I don't have it, but it's also weird where that comes from. I wonder if that's like codec switching, because like when you turn on UTV, right, you saw how often you codec switch, because all the menus of whatever you're using are in PCM 2.0. Then you can switch to like the film, let's say, but you're still haven't pressed play yet. Whatever plays in the background usually is in regular Dolby 5.1. And then if you go into a film, it can be Atmos, Dolby Digital Plus, full fat Atmos, whatever. But that's a bunch of like codec switches. I mean, as soon as you press pause again, you switch codec again, generally. So there's...
Many reviews said it used to lack sound quality in the game mode. I wonder if that has been improved. I cannot attest or testify to that at all. I don't have a PS5. I don't really have time even to play video games. But I could, I guess, swap my YouTube watching of nonsense to put some PlayStation on it. I might buy a PlayStation in October when the PS5 Pro comes out, which is smaller and so on. I don't know if I'm gonna display it or I'm gonna just hide the bloody thing behind the VESA or the panel itself. But that's probably when I'll be able to comment a little more on how the sound is. But from what I had set up, people, with the theaters and PS5s, it sounds great, man. It sounds very detailed, especially when you have the, because it's all running on the Atmos more or less as far as the games are concerned. If you have the Atmos speaker group fine-tuned, and the virtual channels turned on, it sounds insane. It really does. But that's me being around it for just a few minutes while people try it, and then you play with the levels and so on to get it sorted out properly.
Yeah, you also don't want to sit there at a customer's home and like, I'm gonna kill you, bitch.
Yeah, just load up Battlefield 2 and start cussing. No. Yeah, it's not advisable for installers. But
You hear all the
yeah,
gamer words suddenly.
I think the most important part of that, like a gaming point, would be to utilize HDMI number 4 on the LG panel, which is, I guess, dedicated for gaming. From what I've heard, I don't know if that's just the rumor has it or that is the fact. But I know I've read it a few places that hook up the HDMI 4 to a PS4 or PS5. Sorry, it doesn't matter. A gaming console,
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen that before. Could be.
and it opens up. Well, I think that a menu opens up anyways because there's a game menu that opens up in the under picture, and you can modify. I think also refresh rates and so on and so forth. Like, there's a lot of things that you can now tweak the display part the of your experience, but yeah, it's going to be same with the gaming PC. If you output into the theater, obviously your video card, I assume, has an eARC on it. So if you push it into the number 4 port on the TV, it's going to be the same. And then also go to your picture settings in the panel and just kind of set it to, I guess, minimum processing and just straight throughput, which probably will be the best for your frame rate and so on.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the theater may be a bit weird if you use it on a desk, right, and sit very close to it.
But yeah,
That may be a bit much.
that's as far as an old man with a bad back can advise you on, because I don't play those at all. I have an Xbox joystick, but it's for my little Lego Audi, so that's as far as my gaming interface comes. I drive this thing around every now and then in
Your
the
gaming
apartment.
is literally Bluetooth, where you
My
drive an
Bluetooth
RC
drive
car. That's slow.
drive an RC car around my apartment for a little bit while I'm having a booze drink, and that's
Does
about
it work on your Lego digger?
There is now a program released for it, but it's all in the storage. I have been strongly contemplating buying that fucking crane, man, but it's $1,000 first of all, and priorities right now. If I'm gonna blow $1,000 on a meter by meter tall Lego where I have no place to put and it's yellow, so it's just gonna completely dominate the interior here, or I just put $1,000 towards the walnut grills of the freaking BLF 8s because they are now available to order, and I think we've ordered a pair. I think they're set for July to come in or whenever.
So a
So it's
week
going
and
to
a
be
half, 2
interesting.
weeks or something.
Yeah, but
Well, you
I
can
think
always take them home or take your cover with you and see if it matches.
yeah. Well, like I said, the oak ones I don't really care for.
How close are
Nothing
the
matches.
18 walnuts to the walnut on the theater?
When they're that far apart, they're not bad.
If you're next to each other?
But if I'm next to one another, let me just take one off. When they're next to one another, it's they're 100%.
Okay, that's good.
I wonder if I can bring the camera closer. So obviously,
Up a
whichever
little bit the camera.
sorry, yeah. So whichever lamella you go to, obviously, right? Like
It
that's a
depends
lighter
a bit.
one.
Yeah, that one is exact.
Yeah, that's an exact match. So do it like that.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty
yeah,
good because the oak is quite different in
random.
color often.
So
I mean, one thing I think in my setup that kind of helps is that the lamella shape on the theater is almost exactly the same shape as the covers on the 50s. As in, like, it's like, because the 18s are super thin, right? But those lamellas on the theater are kind of like triangulated.
well, they're angular. They're not soft
Yeah.
angled like or beveled like it is on the
But it's
8s
like that
or
on the
18s
50s as well. So the
and the
slats sort
8s.
of match in that
Yeah,
sense.
no, they match perfectly. The theater matches the 8s. I think 8s are sick with the theater, man. It's a bombing system, bro.
Yeah.
It's a bombing system. So whoever is on the fence with 8s, get them before August 1st, y'all, or at least put a deposit down, have them delivered within that time frame or after. So you have the price locked down. That's what I'm doing because I do want to get a set
The
to
8s
play
are
with.
very tempting to me. And for the haters, right? Like, we shit on B&O a little bit with apps and that sort of thing because they deserve it. But like, their products are fucking excellent in terms of
They're insane.
materials. Like, I'm tempted by 8. I wouldn't know what to do with them, but they still tempt me. That's how good the product itself is.
I would honestly use them as a power link out to the freaking computer. Hmm.
Well, the thing is, if I go buy another theater for the bedroom,
Yeah.
then I will
Well,
not
yeah.
go for 8 because I have 18s, and like then I'll have a stage for literally my computer output. Like,
Mhm.
that's plenty for this room.
Oh, Christ on a cross, man. Stage is more than enough. Then you have the sexy one too with the wooden grill.
Yeah. So
Is your sexy wood as well? The frame is wood as well?
no, aluminium,
Oh, okay.
which I kind of like because my
Yeah.
stage grill, wood grill, is walnut, and that's the only thing I have in walnut.
Mm.
No, Sandeep, you made me think of a BSM theater for the bedroom. It's because of you. I blame you.
It's not an overkill, bro.
It's also that I have a set of 18s just left over. So, like, surround sound all the things, right?
Hmm. Now you can employ the 18s in the bedroom then,
Yeah.
or
And I still have
deploy,
a
I guess.
19, so that could also go to the bedroom, I guess.
Let's go to product finder here. Let's type in walnut.
I'll buy yours if you want.
What?
Sandeep's theater, sure.
Give him the stage. Walnut.
Yeah, I have this friend in Finland, right? And I think I've shown you pictures of his house before on older episodes, but he drives me mental in the sense that he gives me so many goddamn ideas
Who?
because the guy in Finland, because like
Oh,
his living room is surround sound with 50s and threes and was it 12.1s, but downstairs he has a surround sound system of like, was it 6 5s, and then something like 6 12 1s on the ceiling.
oh, nice.
And then in the intro of the podcast you see one of the theaters hanging in a bedroom. Well, that's the guest bedroom. And the guest bedroom is surround sound, and his own bedroom is also surround sound, but like 7.1 surround sound with like 12 twos and 12 threes and stuff, and a 19.
Nice. I
So,
can't go wrong. If you love the product, you'll always find a place for it in the house. That's how I look at it too.
I mean, he literally has a bathtub with like an A9 sitting right there, right? So, but for when he brushes his teeth, I think there's like an M3 next to the toothbrush.
That's where it belongs. So yeah, Chaba, there is the product number if you want to order them from your dealer for the walnut grills for the BioLab 8s. Because I'm certainly gonna get a pair just to match everything. Because the 18s, I decided I'm gonna keep the 18s for yeah, they look great. And once I make it to Florida, I'll probably do the same. I'll put them in the bedroom. I don't know where I'm gonna set up the shape. Maybe I'll set up the shape on the ceiling in the apartment. Fuck it.
Yeah, could do.
Put
If
the
the
amps
amp
in
is
the
on the
in the
side, it's fine.
yeah. I'll put the amp in the closet, somewhere in a closet, and set up the surround.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking now, my Finnish friend, in terms of Biolab sets, as in pairs, I think he has at least 15 sets of Biolabs in his house, if not more.
Fudge.
And then in terms of like Bio sound things, like probably similar, like 15 to 20. Because I think his living room is not even his main film room, and his living room, I think, has something like 6 sets of Biolabs in them.
Nice.
And then downstairs in like the theater room, there's like, God, there's 3 sets of 5s, right? And then there's more because like there's then slightly above, and then there's like 3 sets of 12 ones on the ceiling.
Fuck. Yeah, shape. I honestly think, especially after BeoConnect Core connected to the shape nowadays through the COM port, the sound is much better than it ever was from the core and the optical. Like it's 2 different systems more or less that you're listening to. Drawback, downside slash negative: you cannot still use PowerLink output from the BCC to put let's say a Lab 19 or a Lab 11 if you're lucky like me to own one. And man, we have, I think it's a 6 or 8 speaker tile shape in the showroom. I don't remember how many there is. It's enough.
Mm-hmm.
But you put a 19 with that thing, holy fuck. It's a holy fuck system, bro.
It's not really a drawback because it's not meant for that. But if you can like divert bass from the shape to any sub, it's so impressive.
Yes.
It's
no, I really like that.
I mean, and the shape is good as is. It's just not going to be like Beats by Dreing all day long, but like Henrik did the same thing with the S8, right?
Yeah.
With the umbrella sub. Like, you're supposed to put your umbrellas in.
He tied it in with the core.
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, with the shape.
I mean, the Encore, not the Encore, the BeoConnect core sounds so much better than the regular core.
Even with the 5s, we tried it on a whole bunch. I've played around with the BeoConnect core, and it definitely, it improves the sound quite a bit when you tell the speakers.
I mean, my 18s have bass now.
Yeah.
Like, it's to the point where I'm using the BeoConnect core with 18s in my bedroom, and it's like, I'm thinking, like, do I actually need a sub in this room? With just 18s, right? Which are known to be bassless, essentially.
But
now it's sort of like, I feel vibrations. Like, what the hell?
If your plan is to put a theater in there, then it definitely does make a difference because the theater picks up on the bottom quite a bit.
Yeah. But it's more so, do I want to spend another however many grand on a theater?
Mm.
And in all fairness, it's a want, not a must. Because I still have the stage, right? Like, the stage also just does more than the 18s, but
yes.
So it's
does it matter or do you care, right? That's the catch-22, bro.
Yeah, it's I don't need it, I just desire it. The same with the 8s, right? This is why they like entice me. Like, I can see myself buying a pair. For what reason? I have no idea. Like, I don't need them. I have no place for me to put them anywhere.
For me, they're very logical right now. But then coming out of Montreal, moving to Florida, where am I going to put them, right? Because I do have 90s and then I have 18s. I will use them as readers. And I might, do the same thing. I might move the 18s into, maybe I'll move the 18s into my Lego room and put the shape back up in the bedroom like I used to have it. Because I quite like the shape the way that it used to be in the bedroom. I like the look of it. It warms up the room nicely, optically, of course. And it just works. I might tie it into a moment. So my BeoTime works with the alarms and the light commands.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I mean,
apparently there is a request for IR support on the BeoSound Core Connect. So we'll see if that'll happen.
Yeah, I doubt it. I understand the request is there, but I still have a moment. I forgot about that.
That's it.
I can actually. This is another thing I actually have to test. Like, I could potentially do line into the moment and see if the lip sync is good enough. Because then I can use my 18 and my 19 as is in my bedroom and have a nice moment for bedroom music and whatever. Just lay in bed and do music that way, right?
No, but you can still do it with the Core Connect. Just output the daisy chain, the sub in off of
I
one of the
understand,
18s.
but like the problem is not so much any of that. It's that the moment does have WISA, and the way my bedroom currently is, it's set up for testing this stuff because the 18s are kind of in the opening of a door on either side, which is like it's okay, but we're sort of to the point where like you just like, I can go into the bathroom this way, or I can go into the closet this way. And it's
Put 'em on a
several times where
transmitter
you
then.
wake up and you're like super groggy, and it's like, fuck, I knocked that edge lamella off again.
Put them on the WISA transmitter, then you can still run the 2.1.
Yeah, that's
So,
why I would try this, right? Because like I have plenty of side on the side, like on the side walls to put my 17s or my 18s and my 19s somewhere. It's just where the because of the BeoConnect core, where the 18s have to sit, unless I literally start chasing wires through the walls, and which I don't particularly feel like doing because I just painted everything and blah blah blah.
oh fuck, yeah, that's
So I
shitty.
might try that. And Sue says, I thought you were considering a clips for the bedroom. Yeah, I was until I got asked to test
Wasn't.
this thing. And then it was like, fuck, I
That
actually
makes.
just buy a TV to test it with. Also, I ended up buying the 65-inch C3 OLED.
That's an old school.
No, it's like last year's model, 65-inch C3.
I saw yesterday, bro.
But I got it for like just under $1,200.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it was plus 5 years warranty and everything. It was like a mega deal. And a 65-inch Eclipse never fits because like the pokies would poke into the door openings by like 2 inches at least either side.
Yeah, that's a no go for sure. So
I mean, the other thing was then like I can get a 55-inch Eclipse, which I would have loved, but like there were only Mark 1s and or 2s available. And then it's like, yeah, no, because these panels are gonna go at some point.
someone give a real review on Skinny Play versus the OEM B&O A9 covers. They're great quality, man. That's all I can tell you. We have them. They have those retainer tabs as the B&O ones have. It's just that you have a choice of color and modification, man. That's it. There's really no difference, except I guess the price, because the Quadrat covers are way more expensive from B&O. But get a Skinny Play one, bro. You get a promo code, get 10% off. Put a picture of your family on your A9 or whatever, man. Picture your wedding picture. Put whatever you want. If you want to make it look like you're a granite, take a picture of your granite countertop and send them that. They'll make it happen
I'd
too.
take a picture of your granny for that matter.
That's it. Doesn't matter, man. They will, and the print quality is.
I'll get you an extra
face.
10% off if Willie's face is on there.
Oh, for the love of God! There we go again. No. You can do everything other than my face on your A9. It's fucking weird.
I have the drawn up sketches for it.
God, I should just get one for my level and shut everybody up. So, but yeah, that's there's no difference, man, except the fact that when you get it from Skinny Play, it comes in a nice little black box that is also pleasantly scented.
Yeah. Personally, I think the B&O covers are really expensive. They're equal, if not more expensive than the Skinny Play ones.
And you have a choice of modifying it.
I mean, it's more so. It's not even a collaboration. I like in general supporting third-party people around B&O. Like I did the same for Prestige, and it's like the thing I got from Skinny Play was some covers, if that is payment. Like it's not, my opinion isn't bought. It's like, it's not even the ad. Like I don't have to even do these ads, right? It's that I want to.
Mm-hmm. But
Like
no, they are nice.
want them to stay in business, and if it helps by showing you every week that Skinny Play is still around, happy to do it. If you have a different business that is surrounding B&O, like this is the same reason. If you ask me, like, what cable should I get, Steve? Absolutely. That's right. And this is not like I'm biased or anything. No, these are the best people there are.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
So, Denali, don't go solid white. For God's sakes, don't be boring. Live a little shit. Have a nice Skinny Play cover. Like I said, go on the website. The hardest part is to pick one. And if you can't, there's also a custom button, so you can upload your own photo and do whatever you want. But yeah, you can go with whatever, like I said, whatever theme, color, and so on and so forth. There's tons.
I mean, I did see some funky B&O covers from, I think, was it the NFT, whatever related shit in their store in London? But I think they were like $250 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, or pounds, sorry, I should say that. So it's probably $300 a cover or something. I mean, go for either, but like, I would go for Skinny Play personally.
I would either do a moon or the Earth.
Yeah.
Because that just looks sick. Or if you want to go with something light colored, like do the granite.
Also, you don't have to use my promo code if you don't want to. Like, I don't care. Just go buy something at Skinny Play. Like, I don't care if I get anything off of this. I really don't.
So there's the Madonna with the mayonnaise on her.
Yeah, because some
or not
idiot
Madonna,
thought
what the heck, the Mona Lisa. For God's sake.
Some idiot thought that was the thing to do.
That's it. That'll stop the global warming.
It's funny how they never attack private jets. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
They never cut the tires of any of those.
But yeah, no, there's a lot. There's a lot, and yeah, like I said, if you want a Supreme logo, just I guess you need to put them a custom, make it as a custom order, and that's it.
Oh, also, they have collaborations with like artists like Elizabeth Romhill. I really like these.
Yeah, her art is very nice. So no, they're awesome.
So there's a shit ton to choose.
I just get the Willie. No, don't get me, dude. Don't. And I'm sure they have it on file too, because Mikey's son sent it. Okay.
Anyway, I'm gonna call it for this week. Go buy shit at Skinny Play, even if you don't need it.
And yeah, keep fingers crossed for the app improvements. I guess would be the only hope that I would have. And yeah, we'll see. We'll report more when we come back next week.
Yeah, and have a good one, everybody, and
thanks for watching.
Stay safe and have fun. Bye.
Bye.
Which button? This one.